students, I am Madhuri Abhale from Saraswat International Academy. I am teaching Science of Standard 6th. Here we are going to continue chapter number 4, Sorting Materials into Groups, part 3. In last part, we had seen properties of materials in that number 1 appearance and number 2 hardness. Today, we are going to learn soluble or insoluble properties of material. So let's start. Activity 4. Collect samples of some solid substances such as sugar, salt, chalk powder, sand, and dust. Take 5 glasses or beakers. Fill each one of them about 2/3 with water. Add a small amount spoonful of sugar to the first glass, salt to the second, and similarly add small amounts of the other substances into the other glasses. Now what you have to do is you need to collect some samples of solid substances like sugar, salt, chalk powder, and sand, or you can take sawdust. Now you need to take 5 glasses or 5 beakers you can take. Now you need to do fill each one of them about 2/3 with water. Now you can observe in this diagram the beaker is filled with 2/3 of water in this. Add a small amount of sugar to the first glass. Now with the help of apparatus and materials, like suppose first we'll take sugar, so we need to add in first beaker 2/3 water in that sugar. After that, in second beaker you need to take 2/3 water, and in that you need to add salt. After that, you will take chalk powder, sand, and sawdust respectively. Stir the content of each of them with a spoon. Now you need to stir, that means आपको उसको mix करना है with the help of spoon. Wait for a few minutes. Observe what happens to the substances added to water. Now, with the help of apparatus and material and this procedure, we need to observe this experiment. Now you can see one table is given here. With the help of this experiment, we need to solve this table. So let's start table 4.3, mixing different solid materials in water. Substances is given in first column, and in second column we need to see whether our apparatus were disappears in water or it will not. So first, let's take example of salt. Everyone knows that if we add salt in water, then it will be disappears completely. Same as if we take example of sugar, sugar also disappears completely. If we talk about sand, so the sand particles will not disappear completely. If we talk about chalk powder, so same as sand, chalk powder also will not disappear. If we talk about sawdust, again it will does not disappear. So with the help of this experiment, we conclude that some materials are disappears in water and some of them are not disappear in water. So you can see in this diagram, if we talk about sand, okay, and if we talk about any other material like salt and sugar, then in comparison to salt and sugar, sand will not disappear in water. So the things which are completely disappear in water, it is called a soluble substances. Okay, and in other hand the substances do not mix with water like sand, chalk powder, sawdust. It, it is called insoluble substances. For soluble and insoluble property, we need to understand first the state of matters. So there are total three states of matter. One is solid substances, the second one is liquid substances, and the third one is gaseous substances. State: all substances are made up of matter. Matter exists in three states: solid, liquid, and gaseous. So, if we talk about solid substances, then what are the examples of solid substances? Wood, plastic, table, chair, pen, all these comes under solid substances. If we talk about liquid substances, then water, vinegar, oil, all these substances included in liquid. If we talk about gaseous substances, then oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, all the gases comes under in gaseous substances. Now, in which terms or in what terms these matters are distributed in solid, in liquid, and in gaseous substances? Let's see further. Let's talk about first solid substances. You can see here one wooden box is kept. Definite shape and volume of solid object. Okay, you can say here the shape of the box you can easily see here, and it is having one volume. Now solid state. Solid state. Solid have a definite shape and volume. You can move a box from one place to another, but its volume and shape does not change. For example, glass, wood, brick. Simply, here one boy is taking this box from one place to another place. With this movement, the box will not change its shape and its volume. Okay, so with the help of this discrimination, we conclude that solid state have definite shape and definite volume. And the examples of solid states are glass, wood, brick, etc. Particles in solid state vibrate as they are closely packed. In last part, I have already discussed that if we talk about solid particles, then solid particles are arranged in very close manner. There is no space in this matter. If we talk about in solid state, because of this closed arrangement of the matter, the solid will not change their shape and its volume. Now let's talk about liquid state. You can see here one jug is kept over here and one glass is kept over here. If this jug is full of water, then the shape of the water will take a shape of this jug. If I will add this water into this glass, or I will transfer this water into this glass, then the water will take a shape like glass. So why this happen? Let's see. Liquid state. Liquids flow. Everyone knows that liquids flow. It is in flowing state. Liquids change shape but not volume. Pouring water from a jug into a glass causes water to take the shape of the glass. But we still have the same amount of water. Thus, its volume does not change. For example, milk, oil, blood, paint. So, in liquid state, the property of liquid is it does not have definite shape, but it is having its definite volume. It will not change its volume. Suppose I am having 1 liter of water in jug and I will transfer the full water into a bucket, then it will not change its volume, but it will definitely change its shape. So as per the liquid state, it will change its shape but does not change its volume. So you can see here the liquid arrangement of its matter. Less closely packed. So in solid state, what we have observed, the particles were arranged in very close manner. Okay, but if we talk about a liquid state, in liquid state the matters are little bit having a space between them in as compared to solid. Let's see, particles in liquid state slip and slide on each other as they are less closely packed. So you can observe these diagrams. This one is of solid state and this one is of liquid state. Because of these particles were less closely packed, that is why they flow on the ground, or it does not have its particular shape. Now let's talk about gaseous state. Indefinite shape and volume of gas. So in solid state, the definite shape and definite volume is there. In liquid state, indefinite shape and definite volume we observe, but in gaseous state, the both volume and shape, they were indefinite. Okay, let's read this box. They easily change their shape and volume. If you pump air into a bicycle tire, the air fills the tire and takes its shape. So you can observe in this diagram, one person is pumping the air into the bicycle tire. So with the help of the transferring of air, this tire will fill with air or gas. For example, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen. So with the help of gaseous state, what we have observed here, that the gaseous state does not have its definite shape as well as it is not having a definite volume. Because of that, if we give any shape to it or we transfer this into any shape, it will convert in that. And if we talk about the matter or the particles of gaseous state, so they were like very much far from each other. Okay, so let's take a look of solid state, a liquid state, and here a gaseous state. In solid state, the particles were very close to each other. In liquid state, they are a little far from each other, but in gaseous state they were very far from each other. That is why the solid state is having definite shape and definite volume. In liquid state, the shape is not definite but volume is definite. If we talk about a gaseous state, then it is not having a definite shape as well as volume. So with the help of this state of matter, we can easily understand the soluble or insoluble properties of material. So you can observe here, two beakers were taken. In that, 2/3 water is filled. In this beaker, salt is dissolved, and in this beaker the sand is used. So you can observe these two beakers, the salt dissolved in water, so there is no particles were remain in this glass or in beaker, but in this beaker you can observe here some particles were lying in beaker. So it is a particle of sand particles because sand does not dissolve in water. So let's read this box. Salt disappears in the water in the first glass, but sand particles are visible in the other glass. From this observation, you can say that salt is soluble in water, whereas sand is insoluble in water. So what do you mean by soluble? The substances completely disappeared or dissolved in water, it is called soluble substances. Okay, now what do you mean by insoluble substances? Substances do not mix with water and do not disappear even after we stir for long time. These substances are called insoluble substances in water. So with the help of this experiment, we conclude that some substances were completely disappear in water, and some substance were not soluble in water. It is called insoluble substances. So let's read. You will notice that some substances have completely disappeared or dissolved in water. We say that these substances are soluble in water. Other substances do not mix with water and do not disappear even after we stir for a long time. These substances are insoluble in water. Water plays an important role in the functioning of our body because it can dissolve a large number of substances. Okay, it is required for the functioning of our body. This already we had seen in chapter number 2, that why water is necessary for our body. Do liquids also dissolve in water? In activity 4, we have experiment that the solid substances are soluble and many were them insoluble in water. But now we need to experiment on liquids that they were dissolved in water, that means soluble substances and insoluble substances in terms of liquids. So for this, let's see this activity. Apparatus is 2 beakers. You need to fill these 2 beakers with 2/3 water. In one beaker you need to add vinegar, and in second beaker you need to add petrol. Now you can observe in this diagram, vinegar is well mixed in water, but same as in second beaker, the petrol is floating on the water, it will not mix in the water. So with the help of this experiment, we can conclude that vinegar is a liquid which mixes with water, and the petrol is a liquid which does not mix in the water. So the liquids which mixes in water, it is called a miscible liquids, and the liquids does not mixes with water, it is called immiscible liquids. Let's read this box. Liquids which mix with each other are called miscible liquids, like this vinegar. Liquids that do not mix with each other are called immiscible liquid, just like petrol. So let's read line by line. Activity 5. Collect samples of vinegar, lemon juice, mustard oil or coconut oil, kerosene or any other liquid. These all were our apparatus. Take a glass tumbler, fill it up to half with water. Add a few spoonfuls of one liquid to this and stir it well. Let it stand for 5 minutes. Observe whether the liquid mixes with water. Repeat the same with other liquids. As many different liquids as are available to you. Write your observations in table 4.4. Now here in this activity you need to take vinegar, lemon juice, mustard oil, coconut oil, and with the help of this apparatus you need to find out whether these liquids are mixes with water or whether they were float in the water. So let's see table 4.4. So as we know that vinegar is mixes well with water. If we talk about lemon juice, so yes, lemon juice also mixes well with the water. If we talk about mustard oil, then everyone knows that oil are never mixes with water, they always float on the water. So mustard oil will they does not mix. Again coconut oil does not mix. Kerosene also floats on water, so it will not mix with water. Some liquids mix well with water while some other do not. So the things which mixes with water, it will looks like this, and the liquids which does not mix with water, it looks like this because they were floating on the water. We notice that some liquids completely mixed with water, so others do not mix with water and form a separate layer when kept aside some time. So you observe that one glass, if we take and add 2/3 of water and we add some oil in that, then the layer of oil will observe from this glass. So this layer separate these two liquids in separate layers. Bujo suggests that we also check if the liquids that we used in activity 5 mix well with some liquid other than water. Paheli is curious to know whether gases also dissolve in water. So we experiment this with solid, with liquids, and now we are going to do these experiments with gases to see that gases were mixed with water or not. Let's see. Some gases are soluble in water whereas others are not. Water usually has small quantities of some gases dissolved in it. Everyone knows that the chemical formula of water is H2O, that means hydrogen and oxygen. So in water there are some gases like oxygen and hydrogen for survival of the aquatic animal. For example, oxygen gas dissolved in water is very important for the survival of animals and plants that live in water. So everyone knows that oxygen is necessary for every living kind. So for aquatic animals too, oxygen is necessary. So they take oxygen from water with the help of the oxygen is mixes with water. So in this part we learned soluble substances and insoluble substances. In that we took solid substances and we find out many solid substances were soluble and many were insoluble in water. After that we took some examples of liquid substances. Again, some liquids were soluble in water, that means immiscible liquids, and some were floating on water, that means it is a immiscible liquids. With the help of these experiments, we have seen some gases also that were mixes with water, that means hydrogen and oxygen is already in the water, and with the help of this dissolved oxygen in water, the aquatic animal survive their lives. Thank you.